Hey guys, I'm Mike with the Everyman channel, and this is a part 5, I think, in our videos about deep brain stimulation surgery. So if you just happened on this episode, please feel free to go back and look at others in the playlist about this unique brand of surgery for those of us who suffer from debilitating tremors. So, in this episode, I'd like to hit it kind of quick and just talk about some of the personal issues that the surgery brought about for me. And once again, now I say this in all of them, uh, everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a different experience with surgery. So today it's like 105 degrees, Arkansas summer outside, and I chose to walk across to our bamboo forest that we have because it's about 15 degrees cooler in here sitting in my cane and bamboo enclosure. So it's kind of I hope you have a quiet spot. It's really helped me in my recovery to have several places, including my boat. Always good in my boat. Uh, but some quiet spots on the property where I can kind of chill out a little bit. And this is coming from a guy who never thought he needed to chill out. I was a gung ho, drive hard, 2 minute shower, in and out, dressed, and at work. So take that for what it's worth. One other thing I want to say, you'll notice if you look at some of these videos, I certainly notice that I still have a bit of a speech impediment. Sometimes it may even sound like I'm intoxicated. Other times that may be true, but in these videos I'm not intoxicated. It's just it's a combination of the surgery in general, the brain damage before the surgery in general, and the settings that I've chosen for my brain stimulator. So take that with a grain of salt. If you hear me stick on a word or a phrase or hesitate for a minute, that's kind of what I'm stuck with. So I wanted to talk about my personal experience. By the way, I'm on a lot of Facebook pages and Instagram pages for DBS patients. And I read one last night. Someone asked, since you've had your DBS surgery, if it's been a long time, has it lessened in impact for you? In other words, has it become less effective? And across the board, everyone, and some of them, one guy in particular said for 24 years he's had these implants, and it's just as effective today as it was then. He does mention that you need to turn it off at night when you're asleep so that it doesn't dull down the effect of it, and I agree with that. But for the most part, everyone was encouraging, saying that it's still extremely effective for them. I've only been at it 2 years, so I have to agree also. But in preparation for the surgery, now once again, remember I had a brain injury that was causing some difficulty and some exacerbation of my condition. My tremors had gotten really bad because of that. I was having a lot of speech problems. I lost hearing in one ear, lots of things. And some psychological problems in that even though I've been a motorcycle rider all my life, even though I've been a pilot all my life and have flown planes with open cockpits, so a lot of fast-paced stimulation, visual stimulation coming at me, uh, with the brain injury, that became a problem. Uh, and with the surgery, well, I'll tell you about it. So I got ready for the surgery, um, and I've talked to a lot of you guys in the Facebook pages about your support system at home. Whether you have somebody to help you at home, um, during your recovery phase. If you go by the websites, they will tell you about 2 weeks you ought to be able to take care of yourself. I will say that I'm an extremely independent guy, and for me it was longer than 2 weeks. So you need to think about these things and plan ahead for it. My wife is the best in the world about taking care of someone. Lots of experience, as she and I have taken care of uh, all of our parents as they went through the death and dying phases in their life. So it was nothing new for her, but I wouldn't have made it without her. And it's going to be different for everyone. I would say plan for a solid month of needing some assistance. If you've got animals to take care of, for instance, you really need somebody to do that for you. Bending over for me was not so painful, but I've got a term that I made up. Actually, a friend of mine made it up. We call it disorblinated. I was disorblinated for quite some time, and when I'd bend over, it would kind of cause even more disorientation. So it's great to have family or friends or a spouse, especially, to help you during that recovery phase. I even had a dear friend who was an interpreter for me in Central America back during the war years, who came from Honduras to be with me, and it was really funny because my wife, of course, was doing the majority of it, but when she would go to work, this great friend, Dunya would come in and say, "Michael, don't die today. Don't die today." And we had a big laugh. Um, but it's great having someone there to help. I can't imagine going through all the changes by yourself. I know it's doable, and that's great. But if you don't have to do it by yourself, don't. Call on people that you care about to come care for you. Uh, in the worst case scenario, if you have to hire someone to come in and attend, that's a great idea. Uh, set your recovery place up for success, to where you have easy access to the things you need, whether it's something to drink, a urinal, a potty chair, whatever, so that you don't have to risk being so independent that you might damage yourself. There will be periods, at least for me, of malaise. I would classify that as lightweight depression. Um, Lack of energy, uh, disorientation, uh, not a lot of brain pain, but just something's not right. Swelling, post-surgical swelling, causes most of that. But just understand, you may or may not have had a traumatic brain injury, as I did. A lot of people going into this surgery simply have familial tremor or Parkinson's tremor, essential tremor, but it can get very complicated. So you need to plan ahead, get as much help as you can arrange for. Another thing to consider, I was in my late 60s when I decided to have the surgery. And I made that decision to go ahead with it at that time, and I'm glad I did. I told my wife during my recovery phase, I'm really glad I didn't put this off 5 more years and go through this as a 75-year-old. It's doable. For me, it wouldn't have been as ideal as it was as a 68-year-old. So these are things to think about. Uh, I would say for me it took about a solid month to really get to where I felt like going out, venturing forth, getting out of the dark room. The dark room really helps. It helped me, and the doctors warned me about that. Use sunglasses, keep the lights in your room darkened, and that really helps a lot. I've talked to a lot of people that it's taken too much for them to feel like they were ready to go out into the world again. For some people who really care about how they look, that can affect it. Obviously, you've seen the pictures maybe. I didn't care so much about that. If they shave your head and your mantle is a great part of your personal uh, feelings about yourself, then I can see where that would be an issue. So plan accordingly. Uh, what I want to talk about in the next episode is the perspective from my wife, uh, who I love and adore, and is the best caregiver in the world. And no, you cannot rent her, not for that. Uh, but she has a special perspective, probably a lot better, a lot more realistic than mine. So I want you guys to hear that part of it. So we'll try to do that in the next episode. And beyond that, we'll talk maybe in a one more beyond that where we talk about the device itself and how we adjust it and things that you can expect. Some of them are pretty funny. So guys, please like and subscribe so I can continue these type of things. We're doing this for our community and for our extended family, which of course includes all the friends and acquaintances. So I hope if you're not one, you become one. And let me know if you have questions, in particular questions, and I'll address them in a future episode. Hey, it's cool in here. I can't believe it. I'm not even in a hard sweat yet. So plant you a bamboo forest. They grow quickly. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.